record. 7 of the last 8 years, they've won the Central Division Championship. The Cowboys in the playoffs 9 of 10 years. Again, he goes to the corner. This one's a high one. Harris is back. Boy, he almost got hit by it. And it looks like the Cowboy touched it. Fred McNeil picked it up. They're going to reel it down at the 4-yard line. We have a 3rd and goal now at the 1. Trying to drive in, and in for the touchdown. 7-0. Play action by Staubach. Look out, here's Eller. He completes it to Preston Pearson, and Pearson has the first down. I give to Dennison, and he's in. He is in for the touchdown. It's a 7-7 game. Staubach to Newhouse to the 20, and Newhouse to the 17-yard line. 3rd down. Preston Pearson, and he made a flying catch. He's going to be short, however. Waters to hold, and Fritz's kick is good. The Dallas Cowboys have taken a 10-7 lead. Target. Chuck Foreman, he's got the first down to the 43-yard line. Brand, it's Foreman. Foreman makes the move. Gets away from Peterson to the 30. Carpenter asking for some quiet. Brand giving up. McClanahan, and he's in. 13-10 the score, and it's now 14-10. 4th down, 17. Rodgers going down here to Pearson. And did he make the catch? He did. He made the catch. 32 seconds left. He is going to close. To Pearson. He got it. Touchdown. I didn't know they had it for a while. Got the ball back. I don't believe it. He just threw the ball over the scoreboard. I don't believe it. The ball was thrown short, and the defender was not watching, and Pearson came back to make the catch for him. Boy, what a play that was. What a ball game, huh? So the Dallas Cowboys move in to the championship game of the NFC.
Man, you know what? I can remember that like it was yesterday. Hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business here on this Friday night. This is it, guys. This is the last week of the regular NFL season. Time flies when you're having fun. I can't believe that it's over with. That next week, oh my God, no flags, quick a lot with the no flags. Thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you very much. You guys have shown so much love and support and stuff for the channel. I appreciate what everybody is doing. Quick, a lot. That was 43 years ago. One of the greatest and most iconic plays in all of the history of the NFL. When the game is down on the wire and you don't have any hope, it all comes back down to Roger Staubach to Drew Pearson. How Drew Pearson is not in the Hall of Fame, I don't know. I mean, you look at his generation, he's got the rings. He's got his error, one of the best ones out there. He's got a play that is named after him and Roger Staubach. Thank you for, yeah, I appreciate that quick a lot, man. He's definitely robbing the piggy bank. That's what exciting. That was totally exciting. For me, growing up in the 60s and the 70s, I was born in 65. The great thing for me is all I have to do is find out what Super Bowl we're on, and I'll never forget my age, because 53, that's how old I am. But watching the Dallas Cowboys back in the 70s, you know, against the Washington Redskins in the 80s and things, against the Steelers, it was something to behold. That team, that Dallas Cowboys, we know about, of course, that play. Thomas Garrett. We think about Tony Dorsett. We think about Roger Staubach. We think about Preston Pearson, Drew Pearson, Jet Pugh. We think about all those offensive guys. But you know what made those teams so great was that doomsday defense. That defense that punched people in the mouth, took no crap, beat the crap out of people, and came back for more. And that was the same winning formula in the 90s. You had your Leon Lett. He'd make a mistake here and there, but boy, he'd make it up for it because he was killing people. You had Charles Haley. And I know personally how crazy Charles Haley was, but I got to tell you one thing. You wanted to go to war with that guy because he took no crap. Yeah, you had to put up with the antics on the sidelines, but Charles Haley was a beast, a man driven to win. And if you weren't part of winning, he's going to kick your ass. You'd be more afraid of him, your teammate, than the other guys if you weren't there to do your stuff. That defense, predicated on that defensive line. Great running attack. Efficient offense. Ball control. It worked in 2 generations. Right now, I got to tell you, my defense is pretty good. You remember, and it's funny because my numbers are down. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. My numbers are down because all the trolls, all the Eagle fans, all the Giants, the Redskin fans have been in here tormenting me all season, telling me how much of an idiot I am for believing that the Cowboys would win the division. You're just a homer. You don't know what you're talking about. When NFL Network said the Cowboys would win 5 to 7 games, and I put up on there, I was like, come on now. We're better than that. At 3-5, a lot of them were out in here telling me, you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. But I believe because we had a defense, because we have a pass rush, because you have a defensive line that is relentless, much in the way of the 90s and much in the way of the 70s. If we can get some good play calling, if we can get a couple of turnovers, if we can do better in the red zone, there is no reason why this team can't do what the other ones did. Call me crazy. Call me an idiot. Oh, you already did. I forgot. Sorry. But that's how I feel about this team. And it's amazing how all season long, the Cowboys have been told they're an accident waiting to happen. They're the team that just can't do it. They'll find a way to do something wrong. They're always in trouble. They can't stay off the weed. Well, been okay with staying off the weed this year. That accident waiting to happen? Anybody had to call 911 on the Cowboys? When they made the trade for Amari Cooper, they knew. Here's the accident. The Dallas Cowboys always reaching. They're idiots. They don't know what they're doing. They gave up. They could have had Golden Tate for a 3rd-round draft pick, and they gave up a number 1 to the Raiders. Oh, yeah. How you like me now? Boo Cowboys all day, Johnson. I am fantastic, man. I am happy as can be. I see Karen. I see JR. Of course, we saw Quick a lot. We see Kathy. We see TGK TV. He's given me a few shout-outs or shouted at me a couple times there. Blue and Silverback Nation. Coconut 73. I see David Alexander for low cholesterol. There you go. Blue and Silverback Nation. D. Will, Cruise Low. Cowboys D. Brian from SoCal. Brian, you got to update my avatar there, man. You know, I've been on a keto diet now. I'm not quite as round as I used to be, man. So, you know, slimming down just a little bit. I see Brady Jordan. I see Elijah. I see Killing Them All, Justin. Everybody, thank you all for tuning in to our show today. Cowboys rivals, Steelers, 49ers, everybody's rivals. Let's make it easy, JR 214. Everybody hates us. Everybody wants to beat us. It's the bottom. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. Jacob Garrett with the super chat. Thank you very much. What do I want the Super Bowl matchup to be? Us and I don't care who else. I don't care. It don't matter. I don't care if it's New England. I don't care if it's Kansas City. I don't care. As long as we're in the Super Bowl, I don't care about nothing else. Well, but Michael, my son Michael, he has a point though, but because the NFC East has kicked New England's ass all the time. So maybe there's that. I just want to get to the Super Bowl again. I want to, you know what? Shout out to Falcons Nation out there. One of those many trolls that told me that I was an idiot because I talked about Matty Ice. And I said, you know what? Matty Ice is a little overrated. You know, everybody thinks that Matty Ice is this great quarterback, a great gunslinger, and everything. But I got to say one thing about Matty Ice. And everybody who did Super Chats on the last show, Quick a Lot, of course, you just hit us up with the big one. I'm going to do a drawing here tonight, too, for Jeff Heath, the Jeff Heath shirt that we got when we were in Dallas for the Eagle game. Antoine Myers. I had said that Matty Ice, who was NFL MVP, I thought he was overrated. Dallas diehard. And the reason I said he was overrated was because that 2016 season, he was fantastic. Got to the Super Bowl. Trevor Behrman. And they scored a lot of points. And then excuse me. Sorry. I'm choking on something. And lost the game, Junebug, and lost the game to New England. And it's funny because if you actually go through, I'm a numbers guy, and I know sometimes people, doesn't matter what you say. Doesn't matter what you say because it just goes in one ear and out the other, and that's okay. But it's funny because, Quick a Lot, again, when you actually look at Matt Ryan's statistics, what's actually amazing about it, when you actually look at his QBR, Matty Ice, who everybody says is, top tier quarterback, a guy that, you can build on. He will put a team on his back and take them where they're going. It's amazing because he only has 2 seasons, 2016 and this year, with over 100 QBR. In fact, his career QBR is 94.8. And when you start looking at some of the years, his touchdowns, 16, 22, 28, 29, 32, 26, 28, 21, 38, 20, 33. Is it really that good? Is it really? Because 94.8, I know people, the most hated quarterback in the NFL is Dak Prescott. The most scrutinized quarterback in the NFL is Dak Prescott. Jag of Jester channel, he's also in there. That's a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, so shout out to him. But here's what's interesting. Dak has only been around for 3 seasons, and already he has half as many seasons with a QBR of over 100. In fact, his QBR, 95.2, Mr. Matt Banks, also too, is actually better than Matty Ice. Did you hear what I just said about that? Brian from SoCal. His career, which if you go back and look at Matty Ice's career numbers, his first 3 years, they're bad. Anthony Hilton, boy, there's a lot of you guys that did Super Chat. Here's another interesting thing, too. And I know Dak hater. We are literally two camps. You got Dak Prescott people, and then you got anti-Dak Prescott. And Richard Yancey. Finally, I'm caught up with all this. So we'll do that drawing later on here in the show. So everybody, I appreciate it. Got a lot of you guys in there. So we're going to do a drawing for the Jeff Heath autograph shirt that's actually framed over here. That one. Boom. That's our safety. So, to me, Chaz Jewell with the Super Chat. Jerry's going to pay Chris Richard good money. He better pay Chris Richard good money. But to me, to think that we have a garbage-ass offense, and Dak has thrown, I know, only 63 touchdowns. 63 touchdowns. I know it's only 63 touchdowns he's thrown for in 3 years. He's rushed for 18 other ones as well. That's 81 touchdowns. We've won 31 games. I remember looking back, games of my youth, just like the Hail Mary pass and stuff. I remember there were some quarterbacks that just didn't seem to play that good until the shit hit the fan. Like Ken Stabler, the Snake. Sometimes his game just looked but ugly. Jim Plunkett, another one. Billy Kilmer. We used to have what was known as the Kilmer pass. Because when it flew like a duck. So we'd be in the backyard, and every time the ball would slip and it would fly funny, that's a Kilmer pass. Yet, somehow, those guys won. Somehow, when the shit hit the fan, when it was you got to have it overnight, FedEx wasn't there. Somehow, they'd get a win. Somehow, they wouldn't make that turnover in the end of the game that lost it. They'd make that drive to get on the field. And it's amazing to me because there's so many, when I look back on the season, this is kind of reflection a little bit here. I've heard so many quarterbacks that people would say, I'd take over Dak Prescott. Alex Smith, take that guy in a heartbeat. Don't pay Dak. Well, Alex Smith got $70 million guaranteed over 4 years, and may never play again. And he was old to begin with. He probably wasn't going to play 4 years even if he hadn't broke his leg. And what's funny is, as bad as Dak started out the season this year, his numbers were better than Alex Smith. And what's funny is, Alex Smith played a whole lot better in Kansas City under Andy Reid than when he went to the Washington Redskins and got that stank on him. So clearly, a system and a coach make a difference. What's up, Gio Lomas? And I see Manster 54. Oh, man, that's a great number. Aloha, dude. How you doing, man? Yeah, you know what? Aloha, dude. You're right. He is what he is. And that's a guy that wins football games. Has never had a losing season in his career. The team follows him. The team believes him. They believe, like with Roger Staubach, no matter how bad it is, we're never out of it. We got a chance. And in football, that's all you want. That's all you need. That you have a chance to still win. That everybody is focused together and giving it them all to win, to help that guy. 81 touchdowns and not 3 years yet. 81 touchdowns. 31 wins. Now, we'll see if we have success in the playoffs, because that's what all really matters. We've had so many, great season guys. We'll get them next year's. Fuck that. Excuse my language, but fuck that. I'm tired of that. It's time for this team to go out there and get some. Now, sorry, because, I have so many different computers and stuff going on down here. I've actually got to upgrade the Wi-Fi. So we have, I got 3 different computers. I've got the 2 cell phones. I've got the camera and everything else. And sometimes my chat goes down and I can't see what your comments are. I apologize for that. And here's the thing. People will always try and put words in my mouth. I have never said that he deserves to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Never said it. Never, ever said it. I think some of the quarterbacks are paid too much. I think Kirk Cousins getting the deal that he got. And when I talk about it, Kirk Cousins always has one of those, I don't want to say oh no's, because we know where that's going to go, because that'll bring people out the woodwork coming after me, because they will come after me like they always do. But Kirk Cousins always seemed like he would have an interception or a fumble or something late in the game. Because I remember, hey Mike, do you remember when we were at the game and Kirk Cousins, the Redskins were up by 1 score and turned around. They were down there in the red zone late in the fourth quarter. He throws a pick in the end zone. Boom. The Cowboys, late in that fourth quarter, with Dak Prescott leading them, after Kirk Cousins coughed the ball up, drive down the field for victory. There's no reason that team should have won that game, but other than Kirk Cousins giving up the ball. That guy got, what, $84 million guaranteed? He never once beat Dak Prescott. 0-4 against him. I'm not saying he should get Aaron Rodgers money. Some people are sitting there saying, I wouldn't pay Dak Prescott $10 million. Come on, man. And then you hear him say, let's get Joe Flacco. You mean Joe Flacco is about to get cut, who's 34 years old and making like 22, 23 million a year? You say sign that guy? Who got a Super Bowl ring, not because of his passing and offense. I would say the defense and Ray Lewis. I mean, anybody? Does anybody think the offense won that Super Bowl? That was Ray. Let's get him. Come on, man. Too old, too much money. And then they'll say, well, Kirk Cousins. Like I said, Kirk Cousins, $84 million, guaranteed, never beat Dak. Teddy Bridgewater, anybody? Teddy Bridgewater? He'll be a free agent. He's going to get his first start in like 3 years this weekend for the Saints. Hasn't played meaningful time in 3 years. That guy? Anybody? Jimmy Garoppolo. How much money is he getting again? Jimmy Garoppolo, he's up there. Oh, he's got a broken leg, doesn't he? He didn't make it out of the season or past the porn star. Tyrod Taylor. You guys that hate Dak, would you rather have Tyrod Taylor? Tyrod Taylor, anybody? Now, there's rumors that the Detroit Lions might be getting rid of Matthew Stafford and trading him. You got a couple number ones you want to give up for Matthew Stafford? Anybody? Sunshine Harry with the super chat. Thank you very much. Anybody? Number 1 draft pick to draft a guy? Anybody? So those you say that say, get rid of this bum. He's worthless. Can't pay this guy. You say, don't pay him as much as you pay your right tackle, who makes $17 million this year. Don't pay him as much as your guard, who's getting about $16 million a year. Don't pay him as much as the wide receiver that you're going to have to pay Amari Cooper. You know, I'm going to go here with this one. One of my favorite movies of all time is Glory. I love studying the Civil War. Civil War was the first modern war. In fact, I love history. In that movie, Denzel was tough. In that movie, they were giving the black soldiers their paycheck for the month. The paycheck was half as much as the white soldiers. And the soldiers look at the check like, $6. Why am I not getting 12? Because you're black. You're a black soldier, you get half the pay as the white ones. So they tore it up. And I remember the quote from Denzel. Old Abe got himself a bargain. Black soldiers will take a bullet just like the white ones for half the money. It amazes me because the debate about Dak Prescott and how much he should get paid is not an argument I hear about anybody. I didn't hear that about Kirk Cousins, even though Kirk Cousins chokes to Dak Prescott. I didn't hear that about Jimmy Garoppolo when he, after 7 games, got a max contract. Didn't hear that. Didn't hear that about Sam Bradford when he got $20 million to go to Arizona for a year and couldn't play past 1 game. Dylan Pratt, thank you for the super chat. So why is it the only quarterback, Dylan Pratt, thank you very much, that we talk about how much he should get paid is Dak Prescott? Why is that? Carson Wentz is the same boat. Carson Wentz came out the same time as Dak Prescott. Carson Wentz has been injured 3 times. He was hurt his first year in training camp and missed most of that. Then last year, the knee. This year, the knee, come back from the knee and now the back. Nick Foles took him to the Super Bowl. How come nobody's talking about how much that guy should get paid? Anybody? Because here's the discussion from Skip. And I'm going to get some flack too, I know.
He deserves to be paid. And if you look at all the other guys, Skip Bates, I think Dak deserves to be paid somewhere in that $25 to $28 million range. For me, Skip, I think he's a middle-of-the-road quarterback. And I've said this on several occasions. I think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's tier 1. I don't think he's elite. I think he's somewhere between 12 and 15. I can get to, off the top of my head, 10 quarterbacks easy that I'm taking in front of Dak Prescott. And I don't think you would disagree with, a lot. Well, you would, just because. But anyway, I think the thing is we have a body of work on Dak. So he's 48 games into his career. He has 2 division titles. I think that's a larger body of work than what people have on Jimmy Garoppolo, and they gave him $27 million.
Okay.
Alex Smith got $23 million. He's a little longer.
Yep.
So I don't have a problem, Skip, with them paying him. The question is, and I think with everybody, and I don't want to get into semantics, well, this, the position of quarterback and a yada, yada, yada. The question is Jerry going to give him the 25 to 28, which is the not upper level, but it's the upper level of the quarterbacks, or does he fall in that range, 20 million to 22, 23 million, the Alex Smith range. I think Dak Prescott deserves, and Skip, I'm one of his harshest critics because, like I said, I think there are times that he turns the ball over too much. I think he holds the ball too long, and you hear, he said accuracy. If you notice, when everybody talks about Dak Prescott, Skip, what the first thing come out is the A word, and not the bad one. They talk about his accuracy, So Troy said it.
You've called him all kinds of.
No, don't call him about it. No, don't do that, Skip. So do I think he deserves to be paid? Yes, I think he deserves to get $25, $28 million a year. But where I'm going to push back on Darren Woodson, where I'm going to disagree with him, is that I believe those guys in our locker room did believe Tony Romo that could bring them through anything. And the thing was, Skip, the difference is that what you love so much about Tony Romo is what you despised about him. Because his risk taking. He had no conscience. Like you said, the game that perfectly illustrates that. He's playing a flawless game against the Denver Broncos about 5 years ago, Skip. He's flawless. Beyonce would be proud of him. Flawless. He woke up like that.
True.
507 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Yep.
Ooh, he gonna win the game. It's a tie ball game, Skip. Tony Romo gonna ride off in the sunset, and everybody's gonna remember the game. Just like you remember the Alamo, remember the Titan.
This was the Alamo. That's what happened. It was the Alamo.
And Skip Bayless, he was ahead of par. He was all good. I can imagine how he was.
I was happy.
I didn't know he was. And then all of a sudden, he hit the floor.
Threw it right to Danny Trevathan.
Who was wearing? Can you believe what he did?
Danny Trevathan wears an orange-colored jersey, right? No.
Yes.
Skip, Tony Romo has the 17th most comebacks in NFL history. So I do believe that his teammates believe that no matter how far they were behind, Tony Romo could bring.
Okay, one thing on this. Let's critique this for a second here. Yes, Tony Romo has the 17th most comebacks in the NFL history. More than Captain Comeback, Roger Staubach. More than Troy Aikman. But guess what's interesting? Dak Prescott's only been in 3 years. Dak has almost half as many already. Let me say that again. Almost half as many as Tony Romo had in his whole career. Let's keep on listening.
Bring them back. And so I'm going to put
we want Katie.
With that.
He did play with him.
Okay, if you want Katie, you need to go subscribe to her channel. Unfortunately, England is about 5 hours behind, so I think it's like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. But definitely check her out. We'll do a show a week with Katie. She's actually really good people and stuff. You will definitely get a laugh, and we know what y'all thirsty brothers will get out of there too. You know how y'all are. We know how y'all are. Like you've never seen a woman before.
Him briefly.
Yeah,
Darren did.
yeah,
So he
yeah.
has a pretty good
But
vibe.
here's the thing, but when he played with him, Tony was just coming. He was really, really young, really, really raw. That wasn't towards the end, Tony Romo that could do the miraculous thing that he could spin around. Remember, J.J. Watt had him for a sack, and he spun around, got up out of it, and threw a touchdown, and everybody was loving him. But I believe Dak deserves to be paid somewhere between $25 and $28 million. His large body of work lets you know what you're getting. You know exactly what you're getting with him, Skip. You're not going to get Mahomes in the 48 touchdowns. You're not going to get a guy that throws 40 touchdowns. That's not who he is. But you know what you're going to get with Dak Prescott, and I do believe he deserves to be compensated.
So I don't know what top dollar is, but whatever top dollar is, Dak Prescott has earned it. He
30 plus million is top dollar. You
30,
believe that?
30 plus. Whatever it is, whatever the market bears, that's what he deserves. He will win it.
Is this the same guy that threw his jersey in the trash about 7 weeks ago? Did aliens come down and abduct him or something? Because I could have sworn he took Dak Prescott's jersey along with the Cowboys hat and threw it in the trash. And now he's saying a max contract. Now, pump the brakes there. Pump the brakes on that one. I don't know about a max contract because you got to have some money to pay everybody else. And some of them, I think, are paid a little too much. But I understand because when you look at quarterbacks, And I think I've had enough. Let's have enough of these guys, okay? That's enough of Skip. You know, I get a lot of flack because I say that, to me, Skip Bayless is by definition the bandwagon fan, because when they lose, he's throwing their stuff in the garbage. And when they win, my Dallas Cowboys, my team did it. My quarterback should get a max contract. Does anybody else have a problem with any of that? Skip. That's right, David Alexander. Skip. But here's the thing, and I didn't mean to get off onto talking about the contracts and things of Dak Prescott, but I got to tell you, I get so many trolls and idiots out there. There's some dude out there that's got like 150 subscribers. He's pissed off DMV, Dallas Cowboys, with the whole Dak is doo-doo and Dak sucks and his arguments don't even make any sense. And when you actually say, listen, I'm not saying the guy's perfect, and I have never said Dak is the shit. He's the bad man. I've never said that. Never said that. What I've always said is Dak is a winner and he's got it. But he needs an offensive coordinator that uses his talents best of his ability. That's what other coaches do. He needs a quarterback coach to teach him. There's no quarterback that shows up in the NFL and they don't get taught anything. It's the coaching that put them in the position. It's the coaching that educates them what to look at. It's the coaching that calls plays that have a higher probability of success against different defenses. And if you get that, you go from Jared Goff being a rookie looking like a bust to being really good his second year. You get a Steve Young who's in Tampa Bay that they just said, he's no good. He goes to San Francisco and wins the Super Bowl and becomes a Hall of Famer. You take a Doug Williams who's in Tampa Bay getting the crap beat out of him, who goes to Washington and has the greatest second quarter in a Super Bowl history. That's what I'm saying to you, because there's not. If you think that you can say, Dak, you're garbage, we're not going to pay you crap, go someplace else. You go back to the days of Quincy Carter, and I know some of you idiots out there will say, I'll take Quincy Carter over Dak Prescott. I'll take Tim Tebow over them. You'll tell me all these people that you'd rather take over him. But quarterbacks do not grow on trees. Because when you look at this, you look at what guys are being paid. Aaron Rodgers, $33 million. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is great. But if your argument is that the quarterback puts the team on their back and they go because of the quarterback, then why aren't the Packers in the playoffs? Clearly you got the best quarterback out there. They should be in the playoffs, right? If the argument is that the quarterback elevates the whole team, then how come Matty Ice, who was in the Super Bowl a couple years ago with great wide receivers, and you can't say that we got Sanu, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, how come they aren't in the playoffs? Kirk Cousins, they're playing for their playoff lives. They had one of the best defenses. They were a step away. Right now, they're barely holding on to a playoff spot and have to win to get in. Jimmy Garoppolo? I'm going to tell you, Jimmy Garoppolo has got the New England effect on him. I'm not saying that Brady isn't a great quarterback, but he's got a great coach that is an innovator that will come up every single week with something that you have not seen before that will give him an advantage over 3-4 plays every time. Every time. And every single quarterback that has played for Bill Belichick always wins their first game. You can take it to the bank that it doesn't matter who's playing quarterback for New England, that they're going to win some games. That guy, off of 7 games, got that kind of money. Matthew Stafford, is that a guy that puts the team on his back and carries them any place? No playoff wins. Derek Carr, there's no crying in football. Now, when you get down to Drew Brees, well, that's a day. Drew Brees, his money needs to be up on the top of there. That's a bargain at $25 million. So all I say is this. Because everybody, even people who don't like Dak, you can't tell me that Scott Linehan and his offense is good. Well, Cowboys abroad, I'm telling you, I'm sorry. Scott Linehan has had some of the best wide receivers in the history of the NFL. Joseph Hartley in the house, man. Glad to see you, man. How you doing tonight, man? Joseph Hartley is one of the, well, I can't show, you can't see it right now, but behind that Christmas tree right there, Joseph Hartley has given me a prop pistol that is near and dear to me. And now that Christmas is over, the tree will go down. We'll move the lamp and stuff out of the way so that way you can see that and stuff. But shout out to you. But Scott Linehan, sorry guys. Our offense sucks. It's antiquated. We don't have that many sets. We don't have that many formations. So teams know our tendencies. They know what to look for. They can figure it out. And when you look at a game like the Colts, listen, Dak Prescott got 18 touchdowns rushing. You didn't run the ball one time. No run pass options. You don't move the pocket, having him outside in space where he's a lot better. And when teams that have a good pass rush, you're putting him in 7-step dropbacks. The reason why the Colts got us and that we didn't get Andrew Luck is the team planned against our defense. What did they do? 3-step drop back. You don't have enough time to go ahead and have 7-step dropbacks. 1, 2, 3, fire. That's it. Doesn't give the defense enough time to get there. It frustrates them. But you'll see game after game, we'll do the same thing. 7-step dropbacks, leave them in there. And I'm not saying that Dak Prescott's responsible for a lot of those. Dak Prescott's got to learn to throw the ball away quicker. Recognize when guys are open. But you look at what happened when you got more talent out there at wide receiver. When you got an Amari Cooper, that opened up everything for everybody. And that's reminiscent of having a Michael Irvin or a Drew Pearson. Bootleg, oh my God, Joseph. If they do play action bootleg, okay, you get Zeke Elliott doing a fake dive to the left. You get the offensive line with all the flow on there. It's going to end up holding safety. It's going to end up having the linebackers following that flow. And then you end up bootlegging him out the other side. And either he runs it or somebody's going to be open for the easy pass. Oh, you're welcome, Cowboys Pride. I try to read as many of the comments as possible, but they start flying through there, and it's hard. It's hard to read all of them, keep your thoughts going, and work all the stuff together at the same time. Yes, and he needs to be better at reading the defense. Walter, I'm not disagreeing with the Dak Prescott haters, but some people out there say he's too stupid. He can't do this. He can't do that. How do you know? How do you know? It's not like every quarterback that came in here in Dallas under Jason Garrett and Scott Linehan ended up having marketable improvement. The way you know that is you have a Brandon Wheaton in your system for a year and a half. Tom, I appreciate that, man. I've been doing this keto diet, man. Dropped about 20 pounds in a month. So I appreciate that. I got to get some weight off this fat. I get too much belly. Even though I don't drink beer, I got too much belly I got to get rid of. But I appreciate that. And the keto diet actually, doesn't really feel like a diet, man, because I'm still eating my steak. I'm still eating my sausage, my bacon, and all that kind of stuff. Getting plenty of vegetables and everything else. But, you can check out some of those videos and stuff. And hopefully I can get down to my goal weight of like 240, which I haven't been in probably about 6 years. He's a 4th rounder with inconsistent mechanics. I'm sick and tired of hearing about this 4th rounder stuff. Paxton Lynch was the 1st round draft pick. What's he doing? Did we mess up on taking Taco instead of TJ Watt? Well, here's the thing on that one. The Cowboys have set in stone their prototypical guys. They look for, in defensive linemen, guys that are tall, lean, and fast. And in their mind, TJ Watt was too short. You know, that's why you've got guys like David Irving. That's why you got guys like Taco. They're all about the same type build. They're tall, they're lean, 6 foot, 6'5", about 290, and they're quick. But TJ Watt was too short for him. He didn't have that prototypical build. And that's one of those things that sometimes it drives you crazy about the Cowboys is the question is, can the dog hunt? Don't always look at his size and everything else. Look at what is his body of work. So, yeah, they could have messed up on that one. But Taco, I'm not ready to give up on Taco just yet. Taco has just he's got a lot to learn. He was very raw. He really was only a starter for 1 year. And if he can stick with it, if he can get that desire and everything else, instead of blaming the coaching or saying, give me a chance to set it, go out there and put the work in. Go out there and make them put you on the field because you are that good. And that's not an easy thing to do because it's easy to get flustered out there. And, and that's true in anything in life because if you don't put in the work, if you don't put in the effort, if you don't outwork the next guy, you're not going to succeed. And that's the truth on it. I'm not that bright. I screw up the board all the time. I can't get the stuff together, but I'm always out there trying to work harder and harder and harder and harder, outwork the next guy. And thus far, I'm not going to say I've made it, but it's going in the right direction. So that's what Taco needs to do now. He's got to stop blaming and pointing fingers at anybody else. You have to look in the mirror and say, I want it. I'm going to get this done. So with our Cowboys for this weekend, I've talked too much about Dak Prescott. I know the Dak haters going to go ahead and light me up and everything, and that's fine. Unfortunately, I lost the stream there. We got David Alexander with the Super Chat. Thank you very much on that one. Let me enter you. We'll get ready to do that drawing here in just a minute. So as we get ready for this game that we believe that we want to win, we're still going to set some guys out. Zach Martin didn't practice this week. Tyron Smith was very limited. I don't think they're going to play him this week themselves. Well, the Cowboys integrated themselves in the NFC. Okay. Yes, they did definitely get back in. Thank God they got back in the play. Oh, thank God they got back in the playoffs. Now, if we can just get some wins, like 4 of them, that's all I want. Can we just get a 5-game win streak starting on Sunday? Just that's all I want. Well, Jason Taylor, they were actually ranked number 1 once under Dak Prescott, which is amazing because it wasn't like he had players around him. The only other person on that offense that was drafted, I think his tight end was in the 6th round. You know what, Born to game, it's all... Every diet has highs and lows and things like that. Some work for some people, some don't work for others. And it's amazing to me because with my wife and stuff, whenever she tries a new diet, I work with her on it, okay? We did this thing called Shred. And it literally was where you counted every single calorie and everything else and dropped to like 1,200 calories a day and everything else. You were supposed to be able to drop like 15 pounds in a month. I literally starved to death, and I think I lost 6 pounds. I've gone through where we were walking 3-4 miles every day. And on the weekends, sometimes we had like 8-mile walks that we were doing and, eating just straight up salad. Didn't do it. With this keto diet, there's a lot of misconceptions with it. And I don't mean to get into this keto diet, but I just want to point this out because people say, you can't do that. Well, you know what? I've been doing it for a month and dropped 20 pounds. I've got more energy than before. So if you notice, I got up this morning at 6 o'clock, got a little coffee here. I'm wide awake. I guess so I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm wide awake and I'm sitting here doing research. And I've got more energy and I dropped 20 pounds. But it's only about 20% protein. And then about 60% fats and a lot of vegetables. So people will say, you can't do that diet, it's unhealthy for you. Well, being 272, having my blood pressure go up, getting close to being diabetic, that ain't healthy either. And the person who got me on that diet started it about a year and a half ago at 330 pounds, and now is about 220. And dude is cut, okay? So, I don't know what to tell you. And if you want to follow along and see how it's working for me, and if I plateau, I'll let you know. But right now, well, okay. I haven't had this much energy, aloha dude, since I was in college. Whatever it is, I know. Here's the, why are we talking about diet here? But here's the thing. The main thing in that diet, which probably is the difference, is not getting sugars and not getting carbs. A whole lot of sugar is not good. I don't care what you're doing. So eliminating those two things alone is good. Okay? And we're going to leave it at that. So right now, hey, Kayla? Kayla? Okay, she doesn't hear me. My daughter's in town for Christmas. I was going to get her. Mike, you want to pull one of these for me? I don't want anybody to say that I'm cheating for anybody or anything. Okay, so you see, guys? No? Because I know somebody will say, he's got one taped on the bottom or something. Because I know that's how some of you trolls and stuff are. So, for the Jeff Heath jersey, who we got?
Oh, Jeff Heath won.
Who's that? David Alexander.
Bam.
Bam. What? David won another one? He won before?
Well, because every time he gave a super chat, he kept putting his name in there like 4 or 5, maybe.
Well, I mean,
he won, I think, 3 times.
Don't hate the player. Hate the game.
I don't care.
Okay. Anyway, David Alexander, you got the Jeff Heath jersey there. Is my daughter single?
No. You don't need to put her business out there. No.
Anyway, David Alexander, amen, Jackie Smith. Okay, David, email me cowboysmark94 Let me write that down. I appreciate all the support, you guys. This is rigged. Come on, man. Okay. Where did it go? I don't know how many of you guys are that do YouTube. You're getting forced the beta now. Oh God, it's killing me because I can't find anything on it. Skip and Shannon like to compare Rodgers and Brady a lot. I mean, all the time. Okay. Sorry, I lost that in there. Don't start aloha dude. How do I think the Cowboys would be doing if we never cut Dez? Man,
You're in trouble.
I don't know that we've been doing better. Here's the thing with Dez is Dez has had a problem staying healthy in 100%. And the one thing you got to look at with Amari Cooper, very rarely, when that ball is in his hands, does he let it go. And you can look at the speed difference of that guy versus Dez Bryant. So I don't know that we'd be doing better with Dez Bryant if he had stayed healthy for a whole season. And you saw what happened, of course, and a lot of that is because he didn't have an off season and he signed late, but a week in, he's gone. Didn't even get a chance to play a game. In retrospect, it's always better to get younger. Sorry. It's a young man's game. Because when you get older, you can only take so many shots. And you get to the point where you hang on to guys too long. As much as I hate New England, and God, I do not want to see New England in another Super Bowl. We've had enough New England. Can we get Brady retired? Can we have them have to start over and not win their division just 1 year or two? But what they do is nobody really retires from New England. They're not giving out gold watches. And what they look at is they don't look at this player as family and a guy that we're going to be here like the Cowboys, part of the family, that only played for the Cowboys. They will use them as a commodity and say, oh, you're a Pro Bowler? You got a contract coming up next year? We can trade you and get a high draft pick from, say, Cleveland, because they're always drafting high. Your second rounds are almost first rounders because y'all are so bad. So they end up getting rid of those guys. They get draft picks, multiple ones. They trade back and pick up more because there's strength in numbers. The more picks you have, the better chances you're going to find some people later in the draft. We as Cowboys have done the opposite. We've tried to pay guys. We've tried to hold on to them. We reward guys after one good season, Miles Austin, Jay Ratcliffe. And you look at those contracts, Marion Barber, who wasn't even a full-time starter. How do you give him $54 million? And Dez Bryant was part of that as well. See, if it had been New England, when it came time for Dez Bryant's new contract, they would have traded him the year before. Or they would have signed him after he was released from a big contract. Sign the petition to get rid of Linehan. 200 signatures left, guys. Where's it at? Please tell me. I will definitely sign it. Do I think Cole Beasley will be back next year? I don't think so. Unfortunately, I think he's going to be a guy that's going to be gone. I think as you start to see Michael Gallup, who's developing, as you, of course, have Amari Cooper, who's going to get paid this offseason, I think they're going to be looking for somebody different in the slot. The NFC is stacked with good teams. Miss Jackie, I don't know. I'm going to say, as far as the playoffs go, the best team you look at is New Orleans, which is going to be home. Playing in the Mercedes Dome is always rough. But what you've seen happen over the course of the last few weeks is all of a sudden these high-flying offenses aren't so high-flying anymore. You look at Chicago beating up, teams. You're looking at Baltimore with that defense beating like San Diego. You've seen our defense beat up on the Saints. The Saints don't seem to be the same team. So when I look at the playoffs, there's nobody that looks like they are head and shoulders above everybody else. And I believe that, when you're talking about a one-game shot, one opportunity, Cowboys got as good a chance as anybody to make some noise. Provided they can score in the red zone, they can get some turnovers, and they're just less predictable. That's it in a nutshell. You got enough talent. You got enough health right now. David Alexander with another super chat. David, I appreciate that, man. Now, people are saying it's rigged. Jeez, oh, flip. No matter what I do, everybody tells me I'm wrong. Born in Alexander Hospital, watch your video. Hey, you're just down the street, man. You're in Fredericksburg. Yeah, man. I'm not far. I've been working actually in Stafford, so I'm not that far from you, Gabe. Shout out to you. Eric Olson, shout out to you. Cowboys Abroad, Aloha Dude, Incognito. Nefer Fred Dove, shout out to you. And Joseph, of course, I'm glad you're back. So, guys, it is getting close to that time, man. If Dak was a Cardinal, we would still be a winner. Of course. Oh, yeah. No fumbles, no sacks, and no interceptions, we win. You're right about that. Good stuff. That guy is a warrior. So, guys, I want to thank everybody for being part of the show. Sunday, we're actually going to do the game from here inside the man cave to great show, Mark, Carnival Magic. Okay. Were you on the ship with us? Much love, Mark. Thank you. I appreciate that. We'll be here on the Man Cave on Sunday watching our Cowboys against the Giants, which may be the last roundup for Eli Manning as a New York Giant, or maybe.
He said he's already staying.
Yeah, he said he's staying,
He
but the
already-
team still might.
No, he's already staying there.
Okay, all right, we'll see. Michael says he's not going anywhere, but I got to tell you, he's done. He's done. Trust me, he's done.
He's staying. He's not going anywhere.
But as always, friends, thank you all for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. And all you thirsty brothers, you know where to find Katie. She's over on her channel, Katie Calls It. So stop telling me to have her on. If you want to see her, y'all go see her. I'm Mark Holmes, and I'll see you.